Callum with his test. Thank you.
Fucking hell. Right.
I'll try and remember where you told me to laugh, yeah?
Yeah, please do.
Don't tell the truth.
Can everybody hear me?
No.
Yeah, okay, that's the volume sorted.
You said, can everyone hear me? Then
Right, so...
There you go.
Yeah.
Callum, this is how it carries on.
I know, right.
Say yes, dear.
Right, I'm talking now. So to...
Listening, Cal, well, listening.
Have a word with him, someone.
Right, so to start off, I want to thank everybody for coming to celebrate our special day. Thank you. Special thanks go out to our amazing families and friends, but a special mention to Adele and Barry, my parents. To Sandra and Paul, Chloe's parents. I don't think we'd be here today without your support. Also, thank you to 315 and to the photographer as well for an amazing day so far. Special thanks to Chloe's chief bridesmaid and sister Emily, who somehow managed to get here on time. To a bridesmaid Fanula, I don't know where you are, but yeah, thank you for costing us extra on all the nameplates and things like that. And thank you to her maid of honour Leah, who did what all great bridesmaids do and got pregnant before the hen do and the wedding. Best men, I'll save you for later, but I'm glad you had the brain cells to find the venue.
You're quite lucky.
So on a bit more of a serious note, I want to pay respects to those who would be with us today if they could. Special mentions to Eileen, to Margaret, Ken and Kathleen. I know they're here with us in spirit. Let's have a drink to celebrate them. Now on to my new wife. I'm sure that'll sound strange for quite a while. You look stunning today, and I'm certainly the lucky one out of us two.
Got that in there, Cal.
Yeah. Some people here today may already know how we met, but I'm going to remind you all anyway. So me and Chloe have actually known each other from high school. And I think everyone knew we were quite destined to marry after we spoke about 3 words to each other in 5 years, I'd say. Worse yet.
Don't sound like we
So prom was coming up and I decided to ask her out after 1 or 2 days of talking on our fashionable Blackberries. She said no, and I'm not really sure what went wrong then. After this, college rolled on and we went our separate ways. I thought that was the end of that. The rejection clearly broke my heart, and I decided to change my style up and became the bargain Harry Styles. Well, yeah. You might be laughing, but it was a hit. We share the same friendship group and we saw each other every now and again at parties. And I think it was this time that Chloe knew she'd made a mistake back in high school.
Absolutely.
From what I've heard, there was quite a serious operation going on for Chloe and Leah to try and get my attention. So the famous night came when we went to Camel, rest in peace, Camel Club. And this ended up being where our relationship started. There were some sly and tactical hints being dropped by Leah to try and get my attention, and some not so sly hints by her now husband, Millsy. Chloe likes you, go for it. And here we ended up sharing a drunken kiss. I still remember that night clearly. Me. That was afterwards. I still remember that night clearly, me and Chloe kissing, James and Leah kissing, my best man Wilco sat there staring at a black and white cartoon that was on repeat, wishing he could go home. How romantic. I don't think either of us imagined that one night necking on in a grubby bed in Camel would lead to this. Since then, we've had 10 perfect years together with some amazing experiences. Our first home, our first adopted child, Mort. Our holiday to Florida, to name a few. Thank you for being by my side through highs and lows, and I'd like to toast to having forever with you.
There you go. Well done.
Still going. Best men, I told you I haven't forgotten about you. Parents, this might be the time when you want to clock out. There's an old saying, be the smartest in the room, and I enjoy this saying. I do admit it's not too hard for me when one man's got one GCSE and the other, well, I don't think they do exams in special needs. Too far? My mum once told me about the time I met Wilco in preschool. There were actually 3 kids called James. One that looked normal. And 2 of them that looked like they liked to stick glue up the bum. I'll let you figure out who is who. But I know there's only 2 gingers called James here today. Somehow I ended up ignoring the normal James and making friends with the others. I'm not saying that I was persuaded, but I remember my mum suggesting I make friends with them before there seemed to be some money coming into our house through cheques from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Over 20 years of friendship has led to a few embarrassing but memorable moments. One of my favourites included a house party where you threw up in the toilet and your glasses fell down. We actually managed to get a photo of this, and I've never seen a photo tell a story of defeat so much in my life. Fair play though, you did bike home later and go to Leeds Fest the day after, so... What a soldier, what a soldier. Before I move on to Greg, just a final reminder that I'm more likely to pronounce and spell Kathmandu than you are, and I'll die on that hill. That's a bit of an inside joke, guys, sorry. Greg came into my life much later than Wilco, but it's fair to say we still have a strong bond. I met Greg through a McDonald's job, and at the time I heard there was a lot of anticipation for my start. You see, Greg took the role of work husband for Chloe, which means that he probably fancied my wife. Turns out that after a few shifts, it was Chloe who should have been worried that I might run away with Greg. I take a lot of credit in Greg having a wife. In my opinion, his relationship with Amy would never have happened if it wasn't for me. Similar to me and Chloe, their relationship started on a night out. I did some excellent digging and found out that Amy was interested. Greg wasn't taking the hint. I wonder why. Until our friend Jake said, if you don't get with her, I will.
Cheers, Robbo.
That's not Robbo, is it?
Like that was an option anyway. The male competition must have lit a fire somewhere as they finally got together. A few days later, we had a double date, and for dessert, Greg got a pie. And unfortunately, it wasn't the cream pie he was hoping for. From what? From what I've heard, Greg pestered her until she finally gave in, and here they are now married. I reckon she probably questioned that decision when your projectile vomited on the streets outside Wetherspoons at 2 p.m. after a bottomless brunch. No, you guys are my closest friends, and I've got a little something, but I don't have it with me, so I'll give it you later. Right, that's enough from me. I'm going to sit down with my wife and enjoy the rest of the speeches. Thank you.
Good afternoon. You all had a good Christmas? Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, may I also offer you a very warm welcome to the special occasion of the wedding of my beautiful daughter and the very handsome, forgotten his name, Callum.
You'll remember it.
So where do I start? Beautiful, handsome, funny, articulate, but that's enough about me. Let's crack on with speech. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Oh shit, that's the wrong one.
He's been waiting all his life.
So, may I congratulate you all on scrubbing up very well today. It's amazing what a pair of old curtains does, isn't it? My mum used to say that, I'm sorry about that. Right, can I take a minute to pay special attention, firstly, to the bride and groom? They look absolutely stunning today. Chloe, you took my breath away. Can't say out more, else I'll blub. To the bridal party, matron of honour, Leah. Matron of honour, chief bridesmaid, Emily. Fanula, honest to God, mate. Last but not least, you look, I can't read my own writing. You look exceptional and beautiful. Thank you. To the best men, in no particular order, Wilco and Greg, both looking very dapper and handsome. All of you lot have done Chloe and Callum a very proud and happy day today. You've done your job well. Right, so please cast your minds back to 29th of July, 1997, 9:36 a.m. in the morning. Chloe arrived bang on the day they said she was going to arrive. So it was either Chloe or Amazon Prime, what we were going to call her. So this beautiful blue-eyed bundle of joy came into our lives, changed our lives forever. I've been dreading this moment ever since. Moving on, I could talk so many memories, but we'll be here forever. So let's move on a little bit. Here's just a couple of memories. So first Christmas Chloe could really appreciate, she'd be about 3 or 4, I reckon. Santa outdid himself. There were that many presents under the tree, we had to move 3-piece suite into the back garden. So after a couple of hours of Chloe unwrapping the presents, there was clothes, toys, you can imagine the scene, games, teddies strewn all over the room. So me and Sandra said, what's Chloe going to play with first? Probably the kitchen. Me and Sandra finally nearly divorced ourselves at 3 o'clock in the morning, kicking each other, as you do, you know. Well, I'm going to tell you what she played with. It was actually an empty box, what she sat in and pretended she was a train driver. So if anybody has been kind enough to bring a present today, you might as well take it home with you. But please remember to leave the box. Moving on to 2002, Em's arrived. These two have been close ever since. Best friends. And Chloe actually named Emily. You might not believe that. Chloe's favourite TV programme was Clifford the Big Red Dog. And the owner of Clifford the Big Red Dog was Emily Elizabeth. So So, good job you want a boy, Ems, because I'd have been saying, how you doing, Clifford? But I'm so proud that these two have been mates and have formed a strong sisterly bond, which I'm sure will continue forever. Moving on about 5 or so years, we thought it might be a good idea to introduce Chloe to a bit of housework. I quote, or we quote, "Chloe, do you mind helping us with washing up?" To which Chloe replied, "You can't make me do that. And if you do, I'll report you to Childline."
How's that going down, Cal? Direct line to Childline.
So we give her the phone. Here you go, crack on, and while you're at it, give Esther our regards. For all them that don't know, it was Esther Ranson. She still keeps ringing you now, don't she? Fast forward to the teenage years. The tantrums never materialised. Chloe's an ideal model for her age. Good at school, polite, well-mannered, all through-ish. So then it became Chloe's 16th birthday. She asked us if we could have a party. We duly obliged. Chloe invited all her school friends, amongst others, to this party soiree. I put it down here, but I couldn't spell it. I think that's when I first met Callum. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chloe.
I think so. Yeah.
This young man with the Addy style looks. She's paid me to say that. Sitting at the back of the gazebo, as we call it. I then realised we had a really big passion that we shared. Golden Virginia. So we had a few toots, didn't we? And then at this point, who would have thought that this young man sitting here would eventually become my son-in-law? And that's knackered my speech because I've done it the wrong way, but never mind. So after a few beers, a broken fence, where's James? Yes, he's there. And a visit from the local constabulary. Do you remember that as well? The party ended. I think that's when we realised our little blue-eyed girl had blossomed into a beautiful lady. Yeah, got going. Gets better, don't worry. So when she left school, a new chapter of life began, taking with her a beautiful circle of friends, some who are with us today, and some who will join us tonight. These guys have formed an unbreakable bond which will remain as strong as the day when they first got together, and we love them all to bits. College came next. Chloe meeting her partner in crime, Leah. These two have been inseparable since, and I'm sure have a few tales to tell, but we'll save that for later both, won't we? So over the latter years, Chloe has formulated a very successful career with Yorkshire Building Society and remains focused on her future without losing her humiliating sense of humour. Callum, you have also been very successful in your career. We are immensely proud of you both. You are a credit to each and every family. Thank you. Chloe has been the model daughter. Never gives any stress. Yeah, right. Apart from when she was doing driving lessons. I used to shit myself waiting for her to come home. And of course, every parent's nightmare, Magaluf. That was literally the longest week of my life. Thanks for cleaning up, Callum. If you know, you know. So giving you away today, Chloe, I wouldn't have minded a few quid if you like, but has been an absolute honour and one of the proudest moments of my life. Along with the birth of number 2, Emily, and my own wedding to my beautiful wife, who I say looks outstanding today. So in closing, Chloe, you look absolutely beautiful today, and Callum, very handsome and smart. I just read that bit. We are all immensely proud of you both and what you've achieved in life so far. We are certain you're going to move forward and have a long, happy and successful marriage. We love you both deeply and wish you great happiness in the future. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, raise your glasses to the new Mr. and Mrs. Mason. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Clearly we've lost a bit of audience, but you know, we're going to carry on anyway.
We would like to start by congratulating the newlyweds on their marriage. Chloe and Callum are a match made in heaven. They're the same person, have the same sense of humour, and are both very outgoing.
Oh, sorry, Leah. This is Callum for anyone who doesn't know. Nice you show up to this one, Cal. Now, you may be familiar with maid of honour speeches that are very complimentary and about how much we love the bride. However, as you might have guessed, this isn't really our style.
I first met Chloe when we were in college, but we didn't become friends straight away. This is because I was under the impression that Chloe didn't really like me. Not because of anything she said, but because of her constant resting bitch face.
This is something that still gets her into trouble even to this day. But this clearly did not deter Callum.
As Callum has mentioned, after knowing each other for 7 years and Callum trying to ask her out over BBM, they finally started their relationship in the most romantic spot in Huddersfield, Camel Club. R.I.P.
There's a few recurring points, but you're just going to have to go through with it. Now, as you may know, me and Chloe go way back to 2002, when her life truly began because I was born. Ever since then, she's always had a unique way of showing me love, whether it be telling me I was adopted or that my dimple... or that my dimples were a deformity. If nothing else, she has always put me first, just like when I fell face first into next door neighbour's garden of nettles because she'd zipped me into my hoodie back to front with the hood up. However, the one time Chloe did decide to go first was recently on her hen do in Lisbon, where she decided to ride an electric scooter. Now, for those of you who don't know, this resulted in a fall, a trip to A&E and a broken shoulder.
Clearly, Chloe does not have a good track record with hen parties, as she put a lot of time and effort into organising my own. But then 2 days before we were supposed to fly, I received a text saying, "I've lost my passport." So after some crying, lying and begging, she made the flight on time. What a way to steal my thunder.
You wouldn't expect this from someone who's so type A, organised, and has somehow managed to plan this whole day. However, Chloe is quite the scatterbrain, which I'm sure is something Callum could attest to. Just like when she constantly misplaces her phone or car keys, although it is quite difficult when it's Callum who is constantly moving these said items.
Whilst on one of our group trips to Belfast, Chloe realised that she'd misplaced her phone. So we retraced our steps, went to every club that we'd been in to try and find it, for then Chloe to realise she'd just left it on charge at the hotel. We then couldn't get back into anywhere because everywhere had shut. So we ended our night at our finest restaurant of McDonald's. An establishment we were used to gossiping whilst we worked there together many years ago.
I know what you're thinking. Chloe's really gone up in the world from flipping burgers to now working for the AML team at YBS. Despite being a pro when acquiring details from customers, she absolutely crumbled when on the other side of this. On a trip to Dublin, Chloe received a call from the bank where she had to phonetically spell our last name. Garrat, but she stumbled when she got to Y and said Y for wanker rather than...
Hopefully she'll find Mason easier. Something Chloe has not found easy is her experiences with an array of creatures.
The most notable of these for me is when we were on a family holiday to Tenerife. It was my first proper time in the sea, and we were both having fun until all of a sudden Chloe screamed, "Everybody out!" and ran out of the water. She thought she'd been stung by a Portuguese man of war in Tenerife. Her and Dad went straight to the lifeguard hut, who provided assistance, but did so in Spanish, making Chloe worry about whether he actually understood what she was saying.
Chloe also does not have a good track record with the birds and the bees. I know what you're thinking, it's too late for Callum. But I'm actually referring to a holiday in Magaluf when Chloe was stung by a wasp. Again, we had to seek medical attention. We got her sorted, only to return to her towel and find that a bird had shit on it.
Now, let's be serious. We all know the real reason that these two are together. Because Callum was the closest thing a 17-year-old Chloe could get to Harry Styles. We all remember that hairstyle, Callum. Clearly.
We would now like to invite you to all raise a glass to the happy couple, Mr. and Mrs. Styles. Sorry, I mean Mason.
Mr. and Mrs. Styles.
Woo! Now let's get mortal.
Yeah, so do I. Oh, we both got two?
We're mic'd up.
We're both mic'd up.
2, 1, 2. Did you buy both sides?
Tension. Oh. All right.
Right.
And now, guys, big cup, little cup.
Are you actually pulling it up?
Oh, no, you've got yours.
Oh, yeah. Right, I'll be honest. We've only had a debrief this morning in the car on the way up here. So this could either go really good or disaster. So, I'm Greg. He's Wilco. We're not a shit Anton deck. So the way Callum has decided that he wanted two best men. Normally it's one, from what I know. But how he said it to us both were out with the old, in with the new. Fortunately, I'm glad I've got Wilco next to me. He's got all the stories, and best thing is, really, we'd never see this person anymore, Callum. We play every Wednesday on a football pitch every time, and it's more that we've become quite good mates. So
we don't even know who Callum is.
well, yeah, so whoever that is, do not know. So luckily, like I say, I've got him next to me. He's got all the funny stories. Go on, Wilco. Crack on.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Wilco.
Hello.
Hello, James.
Just like to start off, congratulations to the bride and groom. Now, I don't know in exact years how long we've known each other, but here are some of the things I could have committed with you being a parole officer. And I'd be out of prison. Assault of a police officer. I could have done that and been out.
Wow.
Yeah, well done.
Did you?
Firearm charges, fraud. That's 10 years each. Kidnapping 11. Unlawful 13. Intent to supply 16 years. Manslaughter 18 years. To be fair, I was going to put murder because I could have probably have done that and got out in the time. So. We've known each other a long time. We've been to Young Terriers together. We've played for Lepton Highlanders. We've obviously been to town matches. We used to go to town every weekend when we were 17 with our fake IDs from Gatwick Airport. We used to just put a photo of ourselves with £20 to Gatwick. 2 weeks later, ID back in the post.
Clever.
It came to my house. Chloe, we've been together. Not been together.
That were another story.
We've known each other for 17 years. That's a long time. We were in the same maths together. To be fair, I was gonna say, I didn't know what you did for a job properly. I thought you worked like banking, but you just part of the fraud team. I'm gonna say, how did you get into the banking with your math skills? But yeah, so yeah, with the job, we've gone our nights out as well. We used to go to Lloyd's, Camel, Tokes, back to Five, back to Tokes, and then that takes us into our later years when we went to our first lads' holiday to Magaluf. What was it, Callum? Can you remember who went? How many of us?
15, 16?
No, it was more like 25, 26. All the girls came on our lads' holiday. I was going to keep it vague with the stories of the first Magaluf. Obviously, you've said with the cleaning up, when me and you were on sick duty, pushing chunks of chicken down the drain and stuff like that.
Well, no, there's still some stuff we don't know.
Oh yeah, I was gonna.
Not much.
Not much. I was gonna say the time.
Close your ears.
Sort it out, we'll do
Time I walked in.
Stay on track. Stay on
The
track.
time when I came back, 2 in the morning, I opened the door and I'd seen Chloe on the bed. I thought, where's Callum? And Callum was laid down. I quickly shut the door and went back out.
Oh dear.
That's the sensation.
Scurry off, Wilco.
That's screwed up. I went back out, it stripped me.
Straight bar, Ross.
Both.
I was just strip off the toilet. And then, after that, this man came into our lives. On to you, Craig.
So the way that I got into the group, the friendship group, were nothing to do with my personality. More to do with that I was quite good at FIFA. Which, unfortunately, as I've got older, I've become worse. But no, the second time that they went to Magaluf, fortunately, I was part of that, which I shared a room with Callum, which on the first night we decided to go quite heavy. Everyone went in about midnight, 1 o'clock. Yeah, me and Callum decided to get in about 4:30 in the morning. 3 hours later, I woke up, heard something in the shower, opened the door. It was a steam room, like the spa probably here. Callum is sat there, edge at bath, butt naked, hand in the shower. Like that, face dropped. Are you okay, Callum? I think I'm still pissed. All right, okay. But don't worry, Greg, it's helping. No worries. Fortunately for this, Callum, after that, for the 3 days that we were there, he was written off. All of us ended up finding a good ball game in the pool, which I don't think we're allowed in that hotel anymore. A lot of motos. If you know Madagascar, brilliant. If you don't, unfortunately not. Walking into that pool. Then the second bit, what am I on about?
Have you not rehearsed it?
No, it's like we've not planned it. Like Callum's already mentioned, there's a few bottomless brunches that we've been on. Me, Callum, Chloe, and my wife, beautiful wife over there. Brownie points. I didn't say it at my own wedding. through bottoms brunches, ends up in two ways. Either me being sick outside Lloyd's, or Chloe being sick at home. In which I'm having to sat there. It seems to be a common theme here, where both of you are butt naked. But Chloe, in her dressing gown, I'm holding her hair. She can't move in the toilet. Shouting downstairs, Callum, do you want to help Chloe, your future wife? No, it's okay. Munching his KFC chicken. He's on the toilet. Well, he did pull that out after, but unfortunately Amy couldn't play it. No, on a note, if we all could, raise a glass. On a personal note, I want to thank you both for everything that you've done. Helped myself as much as you've helped me. You too as well, everything, whatever. You both look beautiful. I'm glad, I'm honoured, they're both honoured that you've called us the best men. To Callum and Chloe. Right, I've also heard bars on Callum. So drink as much as you want.
Just say his name.
Just say his name.
Not the safe word, boy.
Callum!